Here we have a problem on integration, that is we have to evaluate the given integral. Okay, let me do it. So integral, in my first step what I'm going to do is, so actually here we have x square in numerator. So from the x square in numerator, I'm going to subtract a square root of 3 the whole square. Okay, if I subtract square root of 3 whole square from the given numerator x square, definitely it will change the original value. So to balance the subtraction of the square root of 3 the whole square, add square root of 3 the whole square. Okay, now it becomes 0 pair. Still it is equal to the original stuff in the numerator x square, because this one will cancel out and it will become 0. So now we get x square in numerator. So that's what we have in the original integration. And I am taking the stuff in denominator as it is, that is x negative square root of 3 dx. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider this is one particular term and this is another term. So that is we have addition of two terms in numerator. So this is one term, that is x square negative square root of 3 the whole square is one term, and square root of whole 3 whole square is the second term. The two terms are in addition. Okay, now let's consider the addition of two fractions with the same denominator. For example, let's consider a over b positive c over b. Okay, here we have addition of two fractions with the same denominator. What we will do, we will take the common denominator b and we will add the numerators a positive c. Okay, now I'm going to do this in reverse process. That is, so here two quantities are added in numerator and we have the common denominator b. So what I can do is I can take this denominator b separately for this a and separately for this c, and I can add the two fractions. That's what I'm going to do over here. So I consider this is a and positive, this is c, and the whole stuff over here is b. So now it's in the form of a positive b, sorry, a positive c over b. So a positive c over b can be written as a over b positive c over b. Okay, now let me do it over here. So that is, I'm going to take this denominator separately for this one and this one. Then I'm getting integral x square negative square root of 3 the whole square over x negative square root of 3 positive square root of 3 the whole square over x negative square root of 3 times dx. Okay, so now in my next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider the algebraic identity, that is the difference of two square, a square negative b square. So whenever I have an expression in this form, that is the difference of two squares, a square negative b square, it can be written as a factor form, that is a positive b times a negative b. This is one of the basic algebraic identities. Okay, here look at the expression over here. So x square negative square root of 3 the whole square is in the form of a square negative b square. So if I have a square negative b square, I am writing this one in factor form, that is a positive b times a negative b. But instead of a square, we have x square. And instead of b square, we have square root of 3 the whole square. So then for writing a positive b and a negative b, we have to replace this a by x and b by square root of 3. Okay, let me do this in my next step. That is integral. So this x square negative square root of 3 the whole square can be written as x positive square root of 3 times x negative square root of 3. That is, it's in the form of a square negative b square. I just wrote this one in factor form, that is a positive b times a negative b. Instead of a, we have x, instead of b, we have square root of 3. In denominator, we have x negative square root of 3 positive. So we can write this square root of 3 the whole square as like actually this square root, square, and this root cancelled. We just have 3 in numerator. That 3 also can be written separately, that is 3 times 1 over x negative square root of 3 dx. Okay, here this x negative square root of 3, x negative square root of 3 can be cancelled. I am getting integral x positive square root of 3 positive 3 times 1 over x negative square root of 3 times dx. Okay, now we can start doing integration. So when I integrate this x, so I'll be getting x square over 2, because I just use the power rule of integration. So that is like here the exponent of x is 1. So whenever I integrate some stuff x to the nth power, what I need to do is I have to add the 1 to exponent and divide by this exponent n positive 1. So I just follow the rule over here. So here the exponent of x is 1. I just added 1 to this exponent, then it becomes x square. Then I divide this x square by the exponent we have over here, positive. So here we have square root of 3, it's a constant. Whenever I integrate a constant, I have to write the constant as it is, and it has to be multiplied by the variable to which, with respect to which we do integration. So here we do integration with respect to the variable x. Since we have a constant over here, when I integrate this constant has to be multiplied by the variable with respect to which we integrate. So I have to multiply by x, positive. So here 3 is a constant multiplied by the variable part. whenever I do integration, the variable part is multiplied by the constant should be kept as it is, and we have to find the integration of the variable part alone. Okay, here we have a fraction, we have a variable in denominator. Okay, now let's find the derivative of this denominator x negative square root of 3 with respect to x, because we do integration with respect to x. So I'm saying that we have to find derivative of this denominator x negative square root of 3 with respect to x. When I find derivative of the square root of 3, it's a constant, it will become 0. And when I find derivative of this x with respect to x, it's just 1. That exactly we have in numerator. So the derivative of this x negative of square root of 3 with respect to x is just 1 that we have in numerator. Whenever we have the derivative of the denominator is in numerator, and if I want to find integration of that one, so I have to take natural logarithm, and whatever stuff I have in denominator, that should be taken over here, x negative square root of 3, and I have to add the integral constant positive c. So whenever I want to find integration of stuff, so where the derivative of the denominator is in numerator, so to get integration of such a stuff, I have to write natural logarithm of the stuff we have in denominator positive c. So this is the integration of the given function with respect to x.